Ja, mal schauen, was heute so passiert. Hier. Vielleicht gehen wir auch heute zum komischen Vater von Kuno und hauen den zusammen. Mal. Genau. Can sleep after 2100. Sleeping heals all your health and morale. Ah, okay. So. Leiche. Hanged man. The corpse looks at you with bulging wide eyes. The face around them does not look human. It's swollen and ready to burst. His lips are fish-like and his tongue like a ball gag in his mouth. You seem to be holding your breath. Look down. A cargo belt twists his neck at an unnatural angle. The body below appears stiff. It's letting out an ungodly rot. The smell seeps in even through your clenched nostrils. 3%, oof. Let go of your nose without throwing up. God, what is that? Why is it so bad? Active decay. The lieutenant raises a white piece of linen to his nose. It's okay to throw up, officer. No one is judging. He's about to blow! The cop's gonna blow, Kuno! Schaffen wir's? Nah. The smell is repulsive. It pushes in from your mouth, more instant and more familiar than anything you'd expected. More fever than odor. It fills your mind, flushing you from within. Let it out. You feel a great force wringing you from the stomach. Your body curls and pushes it out, burst by burst, until a pool of vomit lies under your feet, and your throat stings from the stomach acid. The smell of Commodore Red rises from the pool, among it distilled spirit and bits of shish kebab. Fucking corpse. The lieutenant hands you a blue checkered handkerchief. Keep it, he says. Thanks. The hangover is clearly making this worse for you. You could use some ammonia to clear your head. Okay, where do we get ammonia from? That young woman, the gardener, mentioned she used salts for the smell. He nods towards the plaza. If she doesn't have any, there might be some in the fridge store nearby. Having the ammonia is a modifier to the endurance check. Modifiers make checks easier and allow you to retry them. Okay. Dann holen wir uns ein bisschen Ammoniak.
It's raining again.
Young woman looks up at the overladen sky.
It was clear just an hour ago.
You still have your salts? I think I could use some. Sure, I'm done with them. She takes a small capsule out of her breast pocket and hands it to you. Go easy on that stuff, it gave me a terrible headache. Okay. Nice. Immer noch nur 3%. Item lost, ampule of ammonia. Ammonia only makes it worse. The combination forces tears out of your ducts. You manage to keep it in once. The second time, not so much. When the vomiting is done, your cheeks are wet with tears. I think I don't want to be a cop anymore. Get a hold of yourself. You feel the lieutenant pat on your back rhythmically. The weight is reassuring, like a cranel on solid fortification. Pat, pat, pat. I've seen strong men turn themselves inside out for hours. You're facing tough odds here. Alcohol withdrawal makes it considerably harder. Why can't I keep it in if I've been a cop my whole life? I've seen captains puke their guts out. It never gets easier. You never get used to the smell. Every Monday is cadaver day. Throw up, investigate, throw up, initial autopsy, throw up, bag it. He pats on your back again. Then drive to station, maybe throw up on the way there if you didn't bag the thing tight enough. You seem to be fine. I think I've lost my sense of smell. There's a pause. Not being hung over helps too. Seriously, this isn't fun. I don't want to be a policeman anymore. Okay, you've said it. You needed to say it, and now that you have, he withdraws his hand from your back and looks you in the eye. You need to get your shit together. Okay. Was thought gained. Volumetric shit compressor. That. Search time 30 Minuten. Problem. Your shit is apart, and it's rather unbecoming of a cop and a human being. It's supposed to be the opposite of that. Together. Compress in a small area to achieve a solid level of shit compression. Squeeze your butt cheeks together for 30 minutes. Do something similar with the two hemispheres of your brain. Talk to people, maybe that will help. Okay. Wir brauchen noch beim Hobocop. 11 Minuten. Okay. Machen wir Hobocop und dann das andere. We should go talk to locals, find something else to do while the wind changes. It's pretty bad right now. Receive the thought. When this dialogue is over, go to your thought cabinet. Okay. Give it half an hour, get yourself together, then come back and have another go. Okay. Genau, gibt's sonst noch was bei dir?
Fuck this cone, okay?
I keep throwing up and I can't investigate the body at all. You're like a fucking volcano. The kid is mimicking violent puking noises. Fucking pathetic. You're lucky you didn't die there, faggot. Maybe you got some advice from me. I mean, you're obviously handling it quite well. Yeah, Colonel's got some advice for you. The kid looks to his left, then to his right, and then leans towards you. Oh, what are you, like 80, right? Maybe you should stop embarrassing yourself in front of a fucking kid. Okay. Colonel doesn't fucking care. Okay. Napakimpi. This winch mechanism has been oxidizing for some years. The pile of Eternite looks stranger now that Kuno told you about his pad. Why am I looking at this pile of the roofing material? Because unless Kuno lied, you should just be able to pull the panels aside. That is shabby little door. Oh. So this is the shack Kuno mentioned. Let's take a look inside then. Ja, gleich. Oder komme ich da hin? Komme ich gar nicht hin. An empty tube of magnesium supplement. Cured pig's head. It looks mummified. A silver plate with traces of bone yellow powder. Be still, my beating heart. It's amphetamine. Sweet amphetamine. The lieutenant isn't studying the powder in the mirror. He's studying you. I've heard amphetamines make you a really good detective. Are you a really good detective? No, I'm just a regular detective. Thank you very much. Someone has taken narcotics here. Perhaps the police should interfere? Perhaps not. He looks at you. This is below our pay grade, detective. However, he points to the ladder in the corner. See that ladder there? It's probably another way into the industrial arbor, no? A secret path the local kids use. Aber das Amphetamin. Poster says, get out of the way or get fucked up. Okay. Geld. Selber schuld, wenn die einfach so Geld rumliegen lassen. Map tab in your journal. Map tab in journal. Okay. These barrels are half full of rainwater. Doorway is going to collapse soon. Restoration pillars keep the ruins together. Postcard. Right. Soft fat. Muni. Policeman cloak. Looks like someone left this tarpaulin cloak hanging on the railing here. Man down! A trooper has been left behind the enemy lines! You could swear it's more of an instinct than an actual sight, but you know there's the RCM signature rectangle on the cloak. It's a cop's cloak. Cop's cloak! It's a cop's cloak! Yes, it's probably yours. It bears the RCM insignia, and you have a habit of being careless with your equipment. He judges the drop. You could probably make the jump. You look like you've done some track and field in your day. Look around. The wind is aggressive. Up here, the lieutenant looks at the enormous crane towering in the distance over the container yard. The look in his eyes is a mix of the engineer-like interest and the wonder of a 6-year-old seeing a horse for the first time. That machine is a Qualsund 1020 HK. Qualsund 1020 HK. Is it? He looks at you impressed. Qualsund makes a lot of heavy equipment, but this is phenomenal even for them. But I digress. We were focusing on your cloak here. He looks at the sad piece of fabric flapping in the wind. What exactly are we doing up here? What are we doing? We're awfully close to breaking into the industrial arbor. They are bound to have information for us. I thought that was our intention. Breakthrough imminent. Was heißt das? He looks around, wind rustling his hair, or it could be that we're just exploring. He's thinking you've forgotten where you are again. You really think this cloak is mine? Should I go for it? Jump? The cloak? I do think it's yours, yes. As to whether you should go for it, he looks over the ledge at the cold pavement below. Well, it doesn't seem too dangerous. 2 meters stops. Whenever you're ready to do it, so I'll be right behind you. Oh. Fuck. Holy wow, that's high. Doesn't seem dangerous. The lieutenant must be crazy to suggest that. This is certain death. Vertigo almost pushes you over the edge. Right, I can't do it right now. I'll make the jump next time. Damaged health. Oh. Sure. He looks at you worried. Just be careful, okay? Looks like you almost strained a muscle there. Hobo cop. Yeah. Technically, you wouldn't be a cop anymore, but a hobo. That would mean game over for the cop chapter of your adventures, but who knows where the hobo part takes you. To the bar, the old L'Assommoir, to the pier, or the sewers, to Elysium, where for 300 years they interred the dead. You could plunder royalist crypts for long-forgotten triple malt bourbon, then fight the Armacan beast that lurks the bottommost sepulchres. The secrets of the city are all yours at last. Reveals extra special collector's edition tear bottles on the map. More money from selling tar. Learning cap for shivers raised to 6. Cool. Okay. Ist pronounced Revachol. Oh. Gut, dass ich das jetzt lerne. Okay. Was gibt's denn sonst? Und Magnesium. This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says whirling in rags. There's something in there, not necessarily connected to the case, but still. Why am I looking at you, a trash container? You're just a trash container. Just a trash container? There's no such thing. Your fingers start to itch just looking at that padlock. Lieutenant, what do you think could be in there? Trash? Food waste from the cafeteria. They lock these containers to keep the relicts from flocking in. Could be evidence too. Then we should open it immediately. He leans in to inspect the lock. How do we get the lock open? We could try using a pry bar. The one you took from my motor carriage, or... No, pry bar. We might want to ask for a key from the manager of the Whirling in Rags. He probably has one. And he has also information. And tool not equipped. What? Oh. To open locked containers. Equip this to discover secret orbs in shady areas. Oh. Cool. Right in the dick, Kuno. It's all about money, you know. Oh, okay.
Can I help you?
Is the trash container out back yours? Mine? No, it belongs to the Whirling in Rags. Thank you for clearing that up. Why do you keep the container locked? Why? To keep the hobos and drunks out, that's why. And the neighbors too. They put the trash there and they don't pay for the garbage company. I thought as much. And are you the only party with access to the trash container? Well, yes, us and the garbage disposal company. It seems a little careless, doesn't it? Something stirs in you. I wonder what this feeling is. Prod at him and find out. What if I told you I am a hobo? Or soon to be one? Rummaging through the trash. Will you keep me out too? Yes. But I need those leftovers to survive. So, I'm sorry the RCM is having financial trouble, but it's not this establishment's problem. Doesn't it seem careless to you, guarding even your leftovers from the poor? Careless? What are you, Krasmazov? Almost all establishments in Revachol keep their trash locked. The whirling in rags is not special in that regard. We need those keys. What do you need them for? It concerns the case. The lieutenant's voice is harsh and sudden. Please cooperate. He takes the keys from under the counter and hands them to you. Just bring them back once you're done, please. Okay. Aber jetzt können wir auch in die Küche, ne? Yeah. The dishes are drying, they smell of chemicals and pine trees. A thin man is smoking below an exhaust hood, occasionally sipping from his mug. This must be the Whirling's cook. As you step in, he nods towards the table and says something in a completely foreign language. The only words you can make out are Gorasi and Kubek. It must be his name, Gorasi. Gorasi Kubek. Sounds representative. Ah, Gorasi, I have some questions to ask. The man puts his cup down and replies something, his left hand drawing arcs in the air. You've got some impressive pots there. He smiles and bangs his ladle against each of his pots in turn. I don't think I need anything else. Stay masculine. An aroma of spices, alcohol and tomato hangs in the air. You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted blue. You immediately feel drawn to the color. Blue is for mystery. I wonder where this door leads. You do? The lieutenant regards you with patient skepticism. It's a door in the back of the kitchen. Why do you care where it leads? I am drawn to its cobalt blue. It is quite pretty. I suppose we could look into it as a side investigation. No, the door is a mega investigation. Hardly. He looks at the door. Then you... Anyway, God is the person to ask about this. The cafeteria manager touched the door. The cobalt blue surface feels rough to touch. The stainless steel door flush with its frame on every side. Old cobalt paint. Rough on the fingers, 40, 50 years since this was painted, maybe. Right, push. Door does not budge. Okay. God, ich muss durch die Tür.
Can I help you?
There's another thing. There's a mysterious blue steel door in the back of the kitchen. Yes, the door's... Sure, there's nothing mysterious about it. It's just a door. Do you know what's behind it? Do you have... No, I don't have a key. I don't know how to get there. And I don't care either. It's not like I've been wondering about it for 10 years. It's just a frit warehouse, probably. Or some boring storage space with a bunch of old junk and dust. Junk and dust. He runs his finger across the counter to check for dirt. He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. It's absolutely not convincing. I think you'd like to know what's back there. Fine, okay, a little. He shrugs, but my job doesn't leave me time for wondering about one locked door in one of the cafeterias I manage. So I haven't opened it. I have cleaned the whole place 100 times over though, after the animals. And I haven't found a key, so good luck with that. Okay. But there was noise.
Hello again, sweetie.
Nope. Padlock with key. With a well-oiled crack, the lock pops open. It should now be possible to simply raise the lid. Don't. Maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you shouldn't. Of course you should. This is your time to shine, hobo cop. Dive into that dumpster for extra content. Open the lid. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty racks, and organic waste. We're just in time, the lieutenant peers in. This hasn't been emptied for over a week. Dig in Hobocop style for extra content. Yeah! Wow, an armistice caliber 50 knock cannon. Half wrapped in paper tissues, so shiny. What's a knock cannon? It's a giant rifle and it's very expensive. Not as expensive as that fat string of pearls snaking among the rotten banana peels, however. And is that a Cordon Electric's preamp with Electra F2 tubes? It is. That catches quite a price. We're talking 12,000 easy, unless you're into hi-fi yourself. I am into hi-fi. That's too bad, because none of those things are actually in there. There's just food waste and crisp wrappings. Ah, cruel chest. There must be something. All you see is a broken mug with a racist depiction of the yellow man frolicking in saffron. An antique? Only in its social sensibility. Take. The man briefly glances at the mug, then returns his sight to the trash. Look under the boxes. You see milk, an egg rest with one broken egg in it, some pasta wrapper. Picking up the soggy packages somehow feels familiar. You've done this before. The movements are recorded in your elbows, the methodology in your fingers. You're used to this. Dive further. A box falls into pieces in your hands. Batiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages below and turbo noodles. Nothing of note, however. Pick in the racks. Among the threadbare kitchen towels, something catches your eye. A pair of denim trousers. Grab. As the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool from the garbage, a rank corpse smell fills the air. The victim's clothes. The lieutenant smells them. Cadaverine odor is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they were removed when he was still in the early stages of decay. The lieutenant produces a black plastic bag marked evidence from his pocket. Drop them in here, officer. Kim quickly searches the jeans. Guitar mark blue jeans. Pockets empty. Or emptied. He wore them with a belt to a white belt. The loops appear stretched, but he looks into the container. The belt is missing, that is. Do you see anything else in there? I have another bag here. Something slimy catches your eye. Reach for it. A drab long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored, appears from the food waste, dripping with pus. This is a military-type overgarment. No label or serial number. This is the kind of rib-knit shirt that's worn over light armor to conceal it in an urban scenario. He nods to himself. Anything more? Rest of the racks are just kitchen variety waste, just garbage. That's all, I think. Alright. We should go to guard again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard, or that one. He nods toward the red-haired boy behind him. I'd advise against confronting that force. You think someone from the whirling might have been involved, maybe? Not really. All we know is the victim's clothes are in the trash. The lid was locked. And this establishment had the key. It's just a small loose thread. Yeah, we need to ask the kids who put them here.
The fuck she's on about, kids?
The one behind the fence yells.
You hear that, Kuno? He thinks you're an infant or something.
See? Okay. Lieutenant nods, then looks back into the trash container. Search food waste. It's just organic waste, cold and slimy on your hands, apple and potato peels, mostly unidentified sludge, and the occasional chicken bone thrown in for good measure. But hey, nothing. It's nothing. Nothing more to see here.
What's this?
What? A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. It's shiny. Looks like the corner of something. Something larger, a clipboard, a blue plastic clipboard with moist papers hanging from it. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out forms and notes written in a man's handwriting. Officer, is that your paperwork?
I don't know what this is.
It is, look. He points to the clipboard. The plastic has the Elysium street sign, street grid on it. You've even got an autopsy form in there, and a miserable looking slip of paper sticks to the board. If you don't mind my asking, how could you have let your paperwork end up in the trash?
It has a foreboding quality to it.
Verschluckt. Alles gut.
Corona. Hilfe. It has a foreboding quality to it. Maybe I needed to lose it for the great bloodletting to begin.
What are you talking about?
I speaketh the tongue.
Doeth thou also thorough inventories? He points to the ruined notes. You should take stock of your notes, make sure it's all there. Official notes contain informants' names. If some of it has fallen into the hands of the ICM's adversaries, bloodletting may well ensure. Okay, I'll do that. It would also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. He peers into the trash, where soggy cartons and rags stink uninvitingly. Now tell me what your eagle eye sees, or are we finished? Some items are interactable. Go to your inventory. Interact tab. Okay. Sounds muffled gong. That's one thing off the list. The lieutenant sounds relieved. I think we got it all. Okay. Ich hab meine Kacke wieder zusammen. Sehr schön. Bizarre scientific news from Revershold West today, where police officers' shit has been observed at a pressure of around 495 gigadecimals. These metallic hydrogen levels of shit togetherness were thought to exist only at the center of collapsing stars, not law officials. It remains to be seen how long the shit singularity lasts. All endurance white checks unlocked. Learning cap from 4 endurance raised to 4. Nice. And dann das hier. Some kind of superstar. Ah ja. Interact. So, Yellow Man Mug. Inspect the item. Just a racist mug. What's there to read here? Not much. There's quite a lot to read into here, actually. Hat er seine Marke schon gefunden? Ich glaube nicht, ne. Look at all that content. Oh boy, here we go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed away mug that you dug out of the garbage? Mug didn't belong in the trash. It was just a funny mug. Can't anyone laugh anymore? Understood. You're that kind of detective. Why don't you get back to your case? Wanna get into that mug talk again. But it will not happen. The mug talk is exhausted. It is time to return to work. Oh, okay. It's a letter you found in the trash, a pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board. Barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner. Anything else? There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper, desperately sticking to the back of the blue plastic clipboard. It's a metaphor for you. Below the pathetic's terror. Do not look into its blue heart. Smell. The acidic stench of rotting food has rubbed off on the cellulose. It now forms the base of the experience. This base surrounded by a faint air of spoiled meat. The stuff of death itself, and then sprinkled liberally with the citrus zest of toilet cleaner. You know, like the bits they put into public piss bowls, probably called Fermi, Discrete, or Axel, or something. At some point in its journey, Ledger has seen the inside of a public toilet. No, Sylvie already told me I dunked it in the toilet. If you knew it was dunked in the toilet before getting chucked into the trash, why you're sniffing it? Maybe it's my fetish. Maybe. Ever think of that, nose? Garbage toilet stink is not your fetish, and you know it. Your nose does not fucking like this. Are you angry with me, nose? Yeah, turns out your nose doesn't like self-indulgent literal shit huffing. Gel fucking surprise. Come on, no more. The ledger is going back down. Anyway, away from your nose now. Inspect the toilet paper. It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want. Maybe it's kitchen tissue. They look exactly the same. If you want it to be kitchen tissue, it can be kitchen tissue. It's not though. It's toilet paper. Take it off. Still wet, the toilet paper, kitchen tissue, sorry, peels off the plastic easily. All you have to do is shake it off your finger and voila, the ledger now looks marginally better. Inspect the clip. An aluminum block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil, the tip worn down to nothing, has been attached to the clip. Run your finger across the aluminum. The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, sparkling with iridescence. You don't know how you didn't notice it before. Looks like an official mark made to be low visibility outside the right circumstances. Lieutenant, is this one of the hologram watermarks you mentioned? What? He is lost in his own notes. It takes a moment for him to see it. Yes, the halogen watermark used for adding information to ICM property. Interesting. What kind of information? It depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address. Information varies by date of issue. How many years you've been on the force, he is thinking. It'll have that. How can I read it? Any capable light with the right wavelength will do. Like, for example, all RCM vehicles have headlights designed to reveal halogen watermarks. Mine too. This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on. That's all, thank you. Okay. It returns to its neatly kept notes. But a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand. It's a sorry sight. Browse the white papers. They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in parches to sunlight and alcohol and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered with faint red lines forming short paragraphs. Once in a while there's a red stamp that exclaims case files, committed to paper. The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible. What is in there? What are they about? Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51 this year. The exact number is hard to estimate, but due to missing pages and an odd naming convention, but there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases, undertaken not completely, mind you. What do you mean, is that all? There was a mention of a naming convention here. Yes, it appears your employer chose a robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins, yet still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name. Oh my, and they're written in capital letters too. Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mirror, another The Square Bullet Hole Murders, another yet The Unsolvable Case. More? Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and The Murder at the Hookah Parlor. Even the rare Article 3 collapsing tenements. Murder features prominently throughout. It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Later, once you're done inspecting them up close. Kim, my cases appear to employ some kind of naming convention. You mean the alphanumeric officer precinct time of arrival at the scene? No, I mean a non-numeric one with titles. Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. In our defense, almost everyone in the RCM does. Why is that? It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM. Right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves. I seem to have named a case The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one. He peeks into his notes. The man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself. He smiles. I pray his loved ones never find out. What happened to him? Rail spike through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident. That's it. The notebook is annual. It says 51 on what remains of its cover, a molten strap of cardboard. Everything prior to this must have belonged to a previous volume. In short, there was more. Count the pages. I have to open an official case. Is there room? There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of bizarre passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish. Commit to paper using the pen Lena gave you. The tasks you've completed flow out of the kind green ape pen in a brash freehand similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily, it's almost robotically simple, a language developed for mental rigor and simplicity. Inspect victim's body. Interview the cafeteria manager. Cross out the ones you've already finished. A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say, and you. You're a swashbuckler with that pen, Harry, and it feels good. Feels like completion. But where's Harry? Ich bin... Moment, wie heiße ich? Wie heiße ich? Irgendwas Ambrosius Cousteau. Okay, egal. Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the citizens militia. Größte Rätsel im Spiel, wie heißt? Now all that remains is to name the case. Lieutenant, have you by any chance named our case? No, actually. Any ideas? The Furies are at home in the mirror. Furies? Yes, well, it obviously doesn't like it. I don't know, I have to be honest, I'm not experiencing the internal strife that refers to. And also, Euphorus is brown. Could we make it less poetic somehow? Just a normal case name, you know? Think, what would that be? A good normal name. The Hanged Man. Great, that's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. Good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now. Ja, plus 30. 10 Punkte noch, dann habe ich wieder kann ich wieder aufleveln hier. Okay, I'm done inspecting. You don't exactly close them so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now. Browse yellow pages. In the back you see thin translucent copy paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red. All covered in boxes, like marching armies. These look like official forms waiting to be filled out. What types of forms are there? 3. The topmost are misconduct fines, the middle ones are station calls, and the bottommost are field autopsy forms. Each is easy enough to make sense of. Misconduct fine. A momentary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe cases allow for 1000 real. But that requires special paperwork. The details of issuing these fines are spread out over the rest of the fields. Station call. These are quite sinister in tone. They give a date and time for the person to appear at the specified precinct police station. Below the call are the criminal charges you risk by not appearing. All in a print so small it could be considered downright cute. Field autopsy. A dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of a deceased human form waiting to be filled in. Age, sex, condition of internal organs. Okay. Yes, all that remains now is to fill in those forms and hand them to people. Fines for wrongdoers, interview requests for bad guys, and field autopsies to dead guys. The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear, being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork. Must have spared the fragile copy paper. Look at the clipboard. It's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. The edges are rounded, however. The U4-sized board feels thick and heavy in your hand. Light shimmers on its wet surface. On the back you see the embossed letters RCM. Shake. Something rattles inside, ever so lightly. Is there a hidden compartment? And something small inside, light, made of paper, cardboard, or dried flowers perhaps? Peek. Plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. You cannot see to its center. What did you say the color was? Blue. The blue heart. Don't look into it. How would I open it? With your hands? You 4-sized pages hang from the clip screwed to the top of the board. Open the hidden compartment. Yes! The two sides of the board appear slightly misaligned, like a drawer that's come off the slides. If you bend the plastic on your knees slowly, the slides snap back into place. It should be possible to just, you know, slide the drawer open. Without resistance or sound, the two panels move against each other. The compartment is now open. What's inside? 2 ticket stubs and a handmade postcard. Was? Pick up the ticket stubs. 2 octopuses are smiling, reaching their tentacles toward each other in the colored pencil drawings. The tickets permit access to a zoo in Revachol East. The aquarium costs extra. These let you go there too. Pick up the card. Thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. Sounds like leaves rustling when you pick it up. You see violet flowers, floral patterns, patches of glue. Smell it. It smells of chewing gum, apricot flavored. A touch of cinnamon, the end of summer. You think the label says Tutti Frutti. Open it. Familiar handwriting lines the inside of the card, looped round letters in a woman's hand. Harry, it begins. You're already reading. I wanted to write you a letter so you can read it when you wake up. Maybe it will make you happy. Throw it away, please. Keep reading. Your hand shakes holding the card. Every moment when I step out and you're asleep behind me, it says, I find a little piece of sadness in me. I carry it in my chest down Voyager Road. Every step I take, it grows. By the time I reach the fuel station, it has filled me entirely. I step on the light rail and look back. Sparks fall from the bow collector. I know it will be like this until late afternoon, when I get off the 49 and walk back to you. You. Every step I take will get lighter. It almost makes me run. Sometimes I do. I can't believe I met you. I can't believe the happiness I feel with you. You have a vast, vast soul, and I will always, always, always come back to it. Kisses, kisses, kisses. You feel the air sucked out of your lungs and the blood sucked out of your head. Everything around you gets dark. Small white dots appear. You feel the ledger slip from your hand. Fall sideways. What?
There is nothing. Again.
Nothing?
Nothing, sad brother. No treachery, just blackout. Well, almost nothing. There is the ground below you, that's still there. And the small light that's on, fluttering somewhere in the basal ganglia. That's me. Blue eyes, that's me. Who is what?
He speaks of the sickening longing, the unwell emotion. Even in the darkness he's grasping for it, still trying to hold on to the great sorrow slipping in the water. Slimy.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
Here in the paleo-mammalian cortex, we call it the shadow. Because it's always there.
Tell him.
Ah, yes, and in the olfactory system, they call it the apricot chewing gum scented one. It's unhealthy of them to linger on it so, but as they say, what do you do?
Smelled so nice.
It didn't smell nice. It smelled like betrayal.
Was that the X something? The...
Bloated corpse of the past resurfacing?
Yes, that.
Don't prod at it. It will start moving again.
Where's Voyager Road?
There is no Voyager Road. There are no roads, no houses, no lights in the windows. It's all on pause.
Enough. Just lie there, motionless.
You think they would let you? Until you disintegrate into biomolecules? No. Someone is breathing on your face now, inspecting your pupils, stupid idiot.
What is that? It's cold.
Yes, they're pouring something on you, something in you, and
It's delicious. Glowing lights on a dashboard emerge out of nothingness. Where am I? In the upholstered cabin of Lieutenant Kitsuragi's motor carriage, seated in the driver's basket. The air is thick with leather works and heavy fuel oil. Cold water runs down your chin. Drink water. The lieutenant is extending a small canister to your mouth. The water is cold, silvery, the stuff of life itself, as it pours down your parched throat. The pounding in your head recedes, the darkness parts. Drink. He tilts the canister. You haven't drunk water in 2 days. Did you know the human body is not made to survive on alcohol alone? You need a secondary form of hydration. With greedy gulps, you down half a liter of cold water. Some of it spills on the driver's seat. The lieutenant pays no heed to it. What happened? I should ask you the same. You're reading your paperwork, then you passed out. I carried you to my kinema to take you to a hospital, then you came to. How long was I out? 10 minutes, maybe. I came in contact with the burned out ruins of the past, Lieutenant. That does sometimes happen. He hands you the remains of your ledger. You drop this. Are you okay to proceed? Let's solve this case. Good. The Ledger of Failure and Hatred is a special item that can be used both as an interactable and a tool equipped in your hand for skill bonuses. Find it under the Tools section. Inland Empire, Empathy, -2 Authority. Slide the hidden drawer open. Fucking kill yourself, you asshole. The words just crossed your mind somehow. Who were they for? Who do you think? Okay. Can I read the case files now? Nope. Okay. Inland Empire und Empathy. Inland Empire und Empathy habe ich an sich schon. Nice. Our men and women play the puppet master. Pop culture. Assert yourself. Okay, machen wir noch das Lichtzeug. Kim, how do I turn on the headlights? He turns the preheater on, waits, takes out his keys and says, "Alright, ready. I turn, you press start. It's next to the preheater." He's downplaying his excitement. The lieutenant's more than happy to show off his precious carriage. Press engine start. The dashboard lights up with orange glow. Rounds per minute gauges jump and the engine of Kupri Kinema comes to life with a whiny growl. Like a leopard waking from its sleep, yawning and roaring at the same time. Press the button labeled headlights. The lights unfold with a little click, casting electrical light onto the ground before the vehicle. There you go, I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done. You just need to stand in front of the machine now. Okay. Stand... No. Stand in front. Okay. As you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears, a street grid and the veins of a great river. A familiar sensation washes over you. There she is, Reversal West. There's a note of pride in the lieutenant's voice. Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no hundreds of micro perforations. Look at the perforations. There are many of them and they are divided into 3 separate rows. Tally up the different rows. The first row has 18 dots. What about the next one? The next is the longest. It runs all the way around the border and then some. Count them individually. There's so many it's hard to count. More than 150 at least, maybe even 200. What about the last row? Last row has 3 perforations. 3, that's it. That's it. Ekim, what do all these holes mean? Those are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM. They are your statistics as it were. I should have guessed you keep a record, officers often do. Let's take a look. The first row represents your years of service. 18 years. Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered? Got drunk like a megastar. Yes, that does seem quite likely. Your youth coincided with some heady days for Reversal, but let's move on, shall we? This next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Closed is good. It means finished. You've got, let's see, wow, more than 200. Is that a lot? It's quite a lot. Even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades, usually clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers. See, Kim, I told you I was a superstar cop. Call it what you want, you were a valuable member to your precinct. Now let's look at the last row. Right, those are your confirmed kills. You've got precisely 3 perforations there.
So I'm a killer.
For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is in the Jamrocked quarter, it's rather tame. I mean that in a good way.
What's it feel like to kill a man, Mr. McCoy? A young woman asks the man across the desk from her. Honestly, babe, says John McCoy, crossing his ankles over said desk. I don't feel anything anymore. It's just like brushing my teeth. I do it once or twice a week and don't really think about it.
There's no trace of guilt in his voice. There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they do happen to solve a case, it's usually by accident. It's obvious the lieutenant doesn't think very highly of these officers. But it seems as though you are, or at least were, one of the good ones. So we have that to be thankful for.
Have you ever killed anyone, Kim?
Yes, he says, declining to elaborate.
It's not a problem for him to state it, however. How do you handle the strain?
Everyone has their own method of coping, some more effective or self-destructive than others.
He gives you a meaningful look.
Personally, I find it helps to keep up a few hobbies.
Like what?
Oh, this and that. Let's not get into it now.
Maybe I should find a hobby.
Why not gardening? You've already got the yellow gloves.
It's meant in earnest. Please don't mistake it for a jab. Thanks for this.
Lieutenant nods. Look at the shimmering street grid. The rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revachol are all recognizable. They shimmer in the Kinema's headlights. Wait, look around you. A rat brazenly darts past you and disappears amongst the stopped lorries. In the distance, a child somewhere shrieks. A woman reprimands her in a voice no quieter than the child's cry. Martinez, he smells the air and says,
Why are we on this map?
Let me see. He takes the ledger for a moment and inspects it. Right here, he says, his finger near the top of the map, on a segment of coast jutting out into the great ocean.
Seems nice.
No, it does not, the lieutenant says with optimism.
Okay, let's go.
Right, I'll go turn off the lights. You press the remote control on the game. You can now see your statistics on your journal page.
Statistics. Right. Journal page.
Oh yeah, White Morning. Temporary Research Bonus, -1 Authority. Little guy gets further and further away.
5 Stunden, ui.
Okay.
Oh, 6 Minuten noch.
Dann haben wir Superstar. Okay, guck mal noch ganz kurz ein bisschen rum. Bis wir Superstar sind. Great tectonic forces cracked the pavement. Maybe a sea monster did this to the plaza. Oh. An ancient fountain that doesn't pump water anymore. There's a tree in it. Tire tracks leading onto the roof. The slush and rain has almost washed them off. Plastic wrapped macaronis stamped with humanitarian aid. It says humanitarian aid tuna fish, not for resale. Speakers from the people of Samara. Food gift from the people of Messina. Helpline to the company that controls the drawbridge. Roy's pawn shop. Okay. Nice. Water lock out of order until Wednesday. Sewer grade gateway to the river of filth. Close for winter. Please use main entrance. Goods from the lorry haphazardly litter the surroundings. Jump Jams, a popular music mag. Elysium magazine, most able-bodied man. This issue hosts a top 10 list. Sweet. Coin-operated viewer has been banged up inoperable. Roundabout North. Cape Side Apartments, Martinez Pier. Ad reads broken window. Tips has windows. If you had a bag in your hand, perhaps you collect these bottles and sell them. Distant squall of seabirds. Yeah, hobo cop. Splat of bullet holes lines the wall. The sight of bullet holes stirs something in you, making you forget the lieutenant's surname. Look closer first. The fading marks are too degraded to draw any forensic conclusions, just chips in the sandstone. Kim, look, bullet holes. Where? He looks around. Point to the chips in the wall. Someone has been shot. We're cops, we should solve it. There. He looks to the wall. Those are old. What do you mean old? These bullets were fired during the revolution, or over half a century ago. They do not warrant investigation. Okay, what can you tell me about this revolution? Not much, I don't have a fresh perspective on it. Shall we go? Okay. Mensch, wann sind denn die 6 Minuten endlich rum? Only cormorant surveys the sea, indifferent to your approach. Belly of this boat shines like it was recently painted. Hey!
Are you trying to sneak up on me? Come to slit my throat in my sleep?
Apparently she doesn't like people standing behind her back.
Pigs come to take me out. Trying to snuff me out?
Are you sleeping right now? Don't get fucking clever with me, pig. You think you're so clever. Oh, fuck. Garden hose won't be used until the snow melts. Chairs and tables eaten by rain and rot. Balcony with a view to the yard and the hanging. Mother splattering of bullet holes on this wall. It's a closed door, but you look at it suspiciously.
Trying to sneak up on me again? Trying to snuff me out? Get away, pig!
There's a wall on the side of an apartment building. Why am I looking at this? You have no clue, it's just a wall. Someone in walls all over Martinez, weather-worn, cracked, their paint peeling. Rue de Saint-Ghislain. Yeah. Apartment. Stoof. Girl up there, did she spill the paint? Inside the frame of a motorcycle in repair and the tools used to disassemble it. Na, Kim. Flasche. Eine Minute. Ganz alles cool. Ja. Ich gehe gerade meiner Robocop-Beschäftigung nach und sammle Pfandflaschen. Während ich darauf warte, bis sich ein Gedanke gelöst hat, ein Geistesblitz kommt. Hot air rises from the sewer, sour, acidic and strangely comforting. Sag einmal. Ei, ei, ei.
Hi, Ace Detective. Are you here for more books?
No. Der war, glaube ich, der war, glaube ich, letztens mal da. Müsste, glaube ich, noch am Leben sein. So, vergeht die Zeit nicht, wenn ich einfach rumlaufe, oder wie? Good day to you, officers. Breakthrough. Dankeschön. Endlich. Some kind of superstar. Yeah. Okay. They say the world isn't ready for a rock and roll cop. No one wants their state monopoly on violence to be mixed with celebrity worship. They claim to know it would be dangerous for detectives to rise to the ranks of demigods and have sexual encounters with barely legal cover girls. It would be insane, they say. To all this you say, fuck off and die, in a cool voice. You people have no idea how good these cops are gonna get. They're gonna crack 20 cases a day. In the future, cops will be like astrophysicists, or prime ministers, or prophets, and you're the first one. -1 Logik, Price of Self-Delusion, Learning Cap, Visual Calculus, Suggestion, Electrochemistry und Composure auf 6. Oh, geil. Unlock a new slot. Unlockable. Nein. Aber wie kann ich die denn? Skill Points. Mhm. Okay. Ja, gut. Ja. Schauen wir mal dann beim nächsten Mal. Keine Ahnung, wie es dann beim nächsten Mal genau weitergeht. Wir werden sehen.